I've looked at it as a commencement quiz rather than a commencement lecture. Anybody knows what is KYS? Anybody knows what is KYC? Yes. KYC is know your customer. So what is KYS? Know your speaker, correct. Free tuition if you want it. You don't want it, it's okay. Sorry. So that's how, that's my journey from 1983 to now. The point being made here is I did not attend any university of branding. Everything that I learned on my own. So I'm a practitioner, not an academician. As I said, we have created over 475 brands, created 50 new. The Liverpool University, along with Upgrad in India, created a branding course, and I was privileged enough to curate and deliver that branding course. This Anuradha has already mentioned. These are the 3 books of fiction. I'm writing my 4th book of fiction now. And this is the 1 book of non-fiction. Those of who are interested in brands, this book is free on our website, on the Chlorophyll website. This is the link, you can copy it and download that book for yourself. You just have to trust me that that yellow circle over there is me. There is no other proof that I'm climbing. Yeah? And this is the spider that has been named after me. I do a lot of all the things that I've learned in branding. I spend a lot of time with NGOs, with multiple NGOs all over India, one in Mumbai, one in Bangalore, one in Delhi, one in Calcutta. So that gives me immense satisfaction. Let's start with the quiz. Identify this man. Anybody? He is one of the greatest innovators of our time. Most of the Western people call him the second Thomas Alva Edison. His specialty is predicting the future. Since 1985, he's predicted 167 things and with 86% predictability. Right? So he predicted iPhone, he predicted internet, he predicted many of the things which we take for granted today. His name is Ray Kurzweil, and I wanted you to hear what he has to say about the future of education.
You know, years ago, you told a young person, hey, go study software, be a software engineer. That was the guaranteed job. As we both know now, they're not hiring a lot more software engineers, not when some of the best guys are using Vibe and now, you don't even need that. Agents will do it for you. What would you tell a young person today who's trying to figure out what they're going to study, what they're going to learn? Somebody's in high school or about to go to college. I mean, the experience of college right now, I read the other day, we have a higher level of unemployment for college students right now for the first time in 50 years than high school students. High school students have a lower level of unemployment right now. So many of those white-collar jobs have already disappeared. So what would you say to them? What should they be focusing on? What should parents be telling their kids to focus on?
I mean, they're not that upset, and they understand what you're saying. And I would advise them to learn how they can be creative using the tools that are available and they're coming out every month, and different ways you can be creative and find something that where they can really be a turn on. And a lot of people will find ways of marketing that through the internet.
Yes. So finding something they're passionate about, but using the tools of artificial intelligence or robotics. In other words, using the modern tools to create a modern life, basically, and not settle for a traditional education. They're going to have to be self-educated, it sounds like. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I don't know if you got it. Fundamentally, the interviewer is saying there is going to be AI and there is going to be a lot of disruption. So what is it that you will tell parents and students? He's saying I would tell parents and students to be more creative, to use AI and not to be afraid of it. Identify this man. His video about do school skill creativity has been watched in 62 languages 100 million times. He is the world's greatest educationalist. If you find time, please watch all his videos. His name is Ken Robinson. And this is what he has to say about the future of education. Our task is to educate our students' whole being so they can face the future. We may not see the future, but they will. And our job is to help them make something out of it. So my question to you is, if the greatest experts, whether education experts or experts about the future, do not know what the future holds, what is it that you should learn? You have come to one of the best universities. Your professors are going to give you a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding, but there is something that you as students need to learn by yourself. And after all these years of being a school teacher, being an entrepreneur, being a corporate leader, I have one submission. My submission is, if you have to learn something by yourself, you have to learn to live without fear. Fear of what? Fear of parents. I know your parents love you, but there are opinions sometimes they have which are different from you, and you might get angry or afraid. They might say something to you and you might feel angry and depressed, but you'll have to find a way around it. Fear of friends. Friends, we enjoy a lot of good times with our friends, but sometimes our friend says something and that hurts us. Fear of AI. Everybody will tell you that AI is going to take away your jobs, but you have to find a way of making AI your partner and your student instead of being afraid of it. I asked this question on Claude, and this is the answer I got. How many of you use Claude? Lots. So this is the answer I got on Claude. What is Generation Z afraid of? And the answers are fear of being cringe, the fear of being average, fear of economic and future anxiety, and the fear of aging. So if you don't want to age, you'll have to do something. Jagdish and I were sitting in the cab and he was saying, why do you have to meditate and why do you have to do yoga and why do you have to run? And I said, Jagdish, the only thing I want to do is, I don't want to be bedridden. I don't want to be a burden on those who love me. So I want, if I have to die, I have to die very healthy. And that's why we have to be afraid of aging. The simple question all of you are intelligent human beings you're going to ask is, but sir, why do we have to learn to live without fear? There is a very simple answer. Fear turns you from a human being into an animal. Yeah? And I'll explain to you why in terms of the structure of the human brain. Inside our head, there are actually two brains. There is a third one, but we won't complicate the issue. There is an old lizard brain. It has parts like amygdala, it has parts like hippocampus, and there is a new brain which is called the prefrontal complex. The old brain is 13 times faster than the front brain, the prefrontal complex. You are alone on a street and you hear footsteps behind you, and even before you can think, blood has rushed to your legs and to your arms, and your face has grown white and there are butterflies in your stomach. Without you thinking, the lizard brain has taken over your body and is telling you to either flee or fight or freeze. These are called the 3 F's of the lizard brain. You have no time to think. Later on, when you realize that those footsteps that came behind you were of a friend, then the whole thing goes back, the blood goes back to the areas that it should go to. Now, the unique and surprising and engaging thing about the human being is that this response of the lizard brain, which is against physiological danger, is the same with psychological danger. It's an amazing trick of evolution. So when somebody comes to you and says something insulting and says you are an idiot, you don't know how to do this, your body responds in exactly the same manner as when you are in physical danger. Now, over the years, if more and more number of times you are afraid and you are angry and you are suppressed, you will actually end up being ill. So this is the reason why you should, if at all, want to live in those 4 ways, then you need to learn to live without fear. Anybody? I should have got chocolates or something like that as rewards instead of nobody got. Sir, green kurta. There is somebody else that has the correct answer. Yes, beautiful. One round of applause. Sir, what is your name? Wonderful. So Baba Amte was famous. He says, my life's ambition is not having fear. Right? And he was a very rich man. He would travel in a Morris Garage car from Nagpur to Calcutta, and he would drink whiskey from a bottle instead of from a glass. And then one day when he was coming home, it was raining very hard, there was lightning, and he saw something by the side of the road, and he ran home, shivering in terror. And his wife said, how is it possible? You're not supposed to feel fear. He said, yes, but I saw something which made me feel fear. And then his front brain took over, and she said, you need to face it. So he went there, picked up that thing. It was actually a leper who had maggots all over his body. So he took him home, took out the maggots, and said, I have to get over this fear. He went to Calcutta to the tropical diseases college, asked the doctors, is leprosy curable? They said yes, heart attacks may not be, but leprosy is. He got himself injected with the leprosy bacillus and then told the doctors, now cure me. And that is how he learned to live without fear. This is the number of awards that he has won, right? Padma Vibhushan, Gandhi Peace Prize, Templeton, and the Journal. So the question all of you are going to ask is, my professors are going to teach me the skills, they are going to give me the knowledge, but who is going to teach me to learn without fear? Any answers? Who's that person who's going to teach you to learn without fear? Wonderful. Who said that? Raise your hand, please. Wonderful. There is nobody else who knows what is happening inside your head. Nobody knows what is happening inside your heart. You might look very calm and peaceful outside, but you might be. And since we will run out of time, I'm going to quickly tell you 3 things about how to do this. You can't let one part of the brain say, I will not be angry or I will not be afraid, because that's like standing in a bucket and trying to pick yourself up. It's not possible. You have to find a way of observing what is happening in your mind. How many of you watch sports, cricket and football? What happens when the third umpire wants to make a decision? What does the third umpire do? Remember, I told you that there is a reward for answering. There is no penalty for not answering. So it's okay if you give a wrong answer. What does the third umpire do to arrive at a decision? Loudly? He replays. How does he replay? Exactly. So, if you want to learn to live without fear, you, not faculty, not deans, not chancellors, not professors, not parents, not friends, you have to sit by yourself at the end of the day and replay everything that happened in slow motion. Why did this happen? Why did I get happy? Why did I feel sad? That entire thing, once you play it out in your mind, it will become clearer and clearer. And last, this can't happen on a Saturday or a Sunday. You have to do it every day. And every day, not just while you are in RV University, it is even while you are outside.
Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you. So my question would be for everyone, how can they really come about to face the fear of self? It is easy to say, you are telling to slow down and all. If you have one advice, one thing which they can inculcate to really do it every day. I even tell my kids, but it is usually overheard, even myself. Getting that over, and if you have some experience on that, whether sports helped you or anything else, that would be helpful.
There is only one answer, sir. You have to sit by yourself. There is no other way. There is nobody else who can come, whether you call it meditation, whether you call it introspection, whether you call it observation, there is only one act of the human mind that does not have a reaction. And that act is observation. So whether you're 16 years old, whether you're 20, whether you're 50, whether you're 68 like I am, the only thing that you have to do is sit by yourself and observe what's happening inside your head. There is no other, absolutely no other way.
Thank you.
With the 68 years of experience, what do you think about the education system, especially in India, whether it is suitable for a present student? What I understand is that from my experience, see, most of the students, the present education system is not as per the student's structure or system. I mean, I don't know how to explain that, but I can tell you in a detailed way later. But what is your experience about the universities in India? Are they teaching it in the right way, or whether it is moving in a right way? I wanted to know about that.
There is change. It's not static, there is change. Is it ideal? We don't know. I'm not an educationalist. I've just been a school teacher. But if you look at trends around the world, the most advanced education system is in Finland. If you all have access to the internet, please take a look at how Finland schools operate, teachers operate, ministers operate. The school that I taught in for 4 years, there were no exams till class 8. Most of the teaching was done outside the class. We were encouraged not to use the blackboard. So it is not so rare that there are no alternative methods of teaching and education happening in India as well as around the world. Is it mainstream? It is not. That is the only answer I can give you. Is it changing? Yes, it is changing. There is much greater emphasis now on the interior world of the child. Their mental state, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. So there is change. Is it ideal? I don't know. I'm not qualified to say it's ideal. But thank you for the question. It is important.
Hi sir, I would like to know, since in the starting you said you didn't go for any academy and all, so how you achieved so many things in your life without much less internet, no social media, so we would like to know more about it, sir.
Have you heard the word Howard Gardner? Name Howard Gardner. So Howard Gardner, till Howard Gardner came on the scene, most people were measured by IQ, intelligent quotients. Intelligent quotient had 1 or 2 scale, Simon Binet scale and some other scale. Unfortunately, it measured only linguistics ability and mathematical ability. Now, have you heard of Mozart? Mozart played the violin in front of the Queen when he was 5 years old. What do you think his IQ was? There is no measure. So one of the things that, whether social media or no social media, one of the things that students need to focus on is to understand their own IQ. What kind of IQ do I have? I, for example, got 88 out of 100 in maths in school, but I hate maths. I made sure I didn't go anywhere close to maths in college and afterwards. So I know for a fact what intelligence I want. I like to draw and paint. I know that I have that intelligence. That's the secret to what you can do. Whether you're an engineer, whether you're a commerce graduate, whether you're a science graduate, you need to find out what is it that your intelligence, your area of interest is, and nurture that for the rest of your life. I have to warn you on one thing. There is a constant online thing saying follow your passion, but sometimes it may be impossible to follow your passion because your parents want you to earn a living, because the family needs you to earn a living. You have to do that. That is your responsibility. But even if you are earning a living, you can always follow and pursue what is it that you like to do best. That's the balance that you need to find out. That was the last question. I get the ticket? Yes. So Anuradha says I get the ticket to go back. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.